Welcome back to the program. This is the News Center right on KTN News. Now, embattled IEBC Chairman Wafula Chebukati and the two remaining commissioners, Abdi Gulier and Boya Molu, are set to appear before the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee in the National Assembly today to answer to questions on the issues that have bedeviled the IEBC. Now, the three were to face the committee on Tuesday this week, but fell to, citing a tight schedule with the by-election. Our senior political reporter, Duncan Khaimba, is now joining me from our CBD studios. Khaimba, good morning, and what can we expect from the panel today, perhaps?
Yusuf, unfortunately, I'm just getting an alert from one of the media relations officers at Parliament who's saying, alert, apologies on behalf of the chair, the meeting has been postponed. Again, an alert that we're just getting from our Team Bunge forum from one of the media relations officers who is saying apologies, alert, apologies on behalf of the chair, the meeting has been postponed, meaning that, again, the remaining IBC 3 will not be appearing before Parliament. Remember, that happened in the midweek when they were supposed to appear, but they said they had engagements in Nyeri and Kwale counties where by-elections for civic seats were underway, and therefore, being the only three men standing, they couldn't afford to be at Parliament. They had to supervise the by-elections for county assembly wards. So again today, when we were readying ourselves to head to Parliament, that alert has just come in from a media relations officer which says, alert, apologies from the chair, the meeting has been postponed, and therefore what we expected to hear from the remaining three, the Chebukati 3, we will not be getting right now or today as expected. They were supposed to appear shortly after 10 before the Senate Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs. Yusuf.
Khaimba, this is an interesting development. I believe this is not the first time, nor is it the second, but I believe it's the third time that the Chebukati team has failed to appear before this specific committee. Perhaps, what are you reading in this? Because this is a commission that had 7 commissioners earlier. 1 resigned, 3 resigned just the other day. That makes it 4, and the remaining commissioners are about just 3, I believe, in number. So, what is happening?
Yusuf, there are many twists and turns in the IBC or at the anniversary, so to speak, because remember, there's information in a section of the media that even the 3, perhaps we could be treating what you can call attempted resignation, just like what IBC Chair Wafula Chebukati attempted to pull a week before the repeat presidential election in October last year. Because we do understand, whereas they might have resigned by word of mouth, because we understand they are yet to hand in their resignation letters. Ordinarily, you'd expect them to write to the head of civil service, Joseph Kinyua, and copy to the IBC chair to effect or regularize their move that they are no longer Team IEBC. But since Monday, after they resigned by word of mouth before the media at the Stanley Hotel, they are yet to hand in their resignation letters. Now, this is 4 days later, and therefore, perhaps you can treat it as attempted resignation from the 3. That is Vice Chair Consolata Nkadha, Margaret Mwachanya, Ambassador Paul Kurgat, because they are yet to hand in their resignation letters. Therefore, now you can't tell where they stand. Then the remaining IBC 3, they've said they will soldier on and continue with their work. However, remember that part of the amendments that had been made to the Elections Act, the Jubilee pushed amendments after the after the presidential election had been nullified, had said that the quorum can be 3. But there was a ruling to that effect 2 weeks ago by High Court that cannot be the case. So to them, the remaining 3 perhaps would have thought it could be business as usual because there are 3, according to the law that had been amended and gazetted in November last year. You can call them the Jubilee Amendments because NASA boycotted the whole amendments were condemned by the international community. It's part of the reason that NASA had said rules are being changed at halftime and therefore they will not participate in the second half. of that March, the presidential election. So the Jubilee amendments, some sections were rendered null and void by High Court 2 weeks ago, including that issue of quorum, that when 3 are seated, they'll be properly constituted, and where the chair is missing, the vice chair can assume and perform the functions as a substantive chair. Those are some of the sections that the High Court rendered null and void, and therefore they are remaining. It still doesn't add up on what is now the quorum. Remember, the initial act had put the quorum at 5, but that is when we were having the Isaac Hassan team that were 9 commissioners. And therefore, there are a lot of twists and turns. And you'd ask yourself, what would happen if indeed it is said that the 3 remaining cannot legally carry out their functions, and we have a CEO who had been sent or who is on a 90-day compulsory leave? Now, who could be running the commission? Maybe the deputy CEO and other teams, but remember, when you don't have the CEO, now the commission that is crippled, you wonder what would be happening. And remember, there are some by-elections that are in the pipeline, although some before Court of Appeal pending a ruling, including the Wajir one, the Wajir one. I beg your pardon now that I heard you say it's Wajir, not Wajir. So there's a lot of uncertainty on what could happen given that the move by the 3 other commissioners to move, and which I've said as now perhaps we can treat as attempted resignation because they are yet to hand in their resignation letters. Yusuf.
Thank you for that, Khaimba. One final question, and of course it is either Wajir or Wajir, depending on where you've come from. But one final question, perhaps. You've read that statement from the National Assembly a while ago. I know you have your sources on the ground. Have they managed to say the reason as to why they're postponing this meeting with IEBC? And perhaps have they said to what date that we should expect another sitting?
We are trying to get in touch with that specific officer, the media relations officer at the media center, who's in charge of this Senate committee. And that is the question many journalists or parliamentary reporters are asking, what are the reasons? Because many were really waiting, the country was eagerly waiting to hear what the IEBC chair, Chebukati, and his remaining 2 lieutenants, that is Boyu Molu and Professor Abdi Gulie, would be telling the Senate committee after failing to appear before the National Assembly. However, we cannot have... there's no reason, and I'm actually just reading what has been communicated. The MROs, they have just received that communication from the chair, and no communication has been given. But perhaps we'll be trying to get the chair of the Senate Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs to tell us why this sitting has been postponed. So those are some of the details that we'll be digging, and perhaps in the next we will be trying to get in touch with the Njeri Manga and Martin Mutua just to tell us exactly what will be happening. So the media relations officer Njeri Manga and Martin Mutua perhaps will be trying to get us the details as to why the meeting has been cancelled, but basically the chair has just told them that apologies, the IBC team will not be appearing. Yusuf.
Thank you very much, Khaimba, for that comprehensive update. And of course, we're going to link up with Duncan Khaimba, our senior political reporter, once he gets to the bottom of this developing story. Now, Parliament has joined the executive on the coalition part with the judiciary, this time over the Judicial Service Commission membership. JSC insists that the decision by MPs to block Justice Mohammed Warsame from being a member of the JSC amounts to contempt of court. Here is Professor Tomo Jenda on the matter.
Justice Chacha Mwita issued conservatory orders on 26th of March, stopping Parliament from vetting Judge Warsame until the petition is heard. The petition shall be heard inter partes on the 23rd of May 2018. So there's a live court order that has stopped Parliament from proceeding with the vetting of Judge Warsame. Since Judge Warsame is a party to the petition, he has also been stopped by that order from appearing before Parliament. Had he purported to appear before Parliament, Judge Warsame would have acted in contempt of court. Parliament is clearly in contempt of court by purporting to advertise for views on Judge Wasame and by purporting to make a finding against Judge Wasame, vetting him in absentia. What Parliament is doing is a clear affront on the independence of the judiciary by trying to clip the wings of the judiciary by intimidating serving officers within the Judicial Service Commission, and clearly it is meant to twist and to undermine the very independence of the judiciary as an institution.
Well, before I take you to the courts where we expect a ruling with regards to the Wajir governor's election, let me give